Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for the 28th of September. With the ASX here, you know I'm having a bit of difficulty in terms of working this particular structure out here. So this whole top here may be able to be counted differently. One of the things that we have been looking at though is that if the 6,000 here again becomes the tested support and trading above it is not support, but coming back and checking it is support, part of that process, and if that's the case, then it appears that we'll move up from this point here. Okay, so really the 6,000 is the line in the sand, and we need a classic trading levels pattern sitting on that in that space. Also, just like to have a look at this is the XJR. So this is actually it's a daily chart. Normally we look at the XJ, XMJ or the XMM, but the XJR is also it's resources, so it's also got the energy sector in it. So it's got metals and mining in it, and energy as well. But it's really the same pattern that we've been looking at, so I don't need to go there. I want to go and have a look at the XMJ. So this is the one that we've been looking at, and the XXM as well. So the XMM has just had a little bit of a better pattern to it, but just to go over that in case some folks are new, we've got 5 waves here for wave 1 and 2 here, then 5 waves here for wave 3, so all of wave 3 here, and 4 and 5 here. So we've been looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Now in the C wave here, if you've got a keen eye, you can see 5 waves in here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So what we were looking at last time here is we were wondering if this 5 waves down here is just really part of a larger correction that will give us another 5 waves down, but that will have to be more than that. It will have to give us 5 waves down, so that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then 5 coming in here, give us something like this here, and then move up from that point, moving up from higher from that point. So I don't know. It's possible that this is done and dusted here for that, and then we move straight up from that point. I just don't know. So as I mentioned last time we spoke, we were looking for the low to be in play, and we were looking for a rally. So the rally for this here can play out at the 50-60% retracement level here. So just grabbing that and that here. So that brings us up into the 470, 4,700 and 4,750 sort of area here for that. So you can see that we have a little way to go here for this. So I won't be able to figure it out for a little while yet. I need this pattern here to mature, and yeah, interesting. We just don't want to move too quickly, because we can get up to this space here and then drop down into a third wave and get trapped. So we really need to be sort of on the ball a little bit here. Now, the XXJ, the banking sector, let me just bring that into the fold here for a moment. The XXJ. So we've seen some good volume and price come into the banking sector on Friday. So this is really sitting at just say 5,000 here for this. Actually, there was one other indice that I wanted to have a look at, which I thought was really quite interesting, and that's the XUJ, which is the utilities sector, rather, the utilities, the XUJ. So in this case here, we could look at wave 1 here and 2 here, and third wave, maybe third, fourth, and fifth in all of the third wave here, ABC for the fourth, and up for the fifth wave here. So in this case, we've got 5 waves going up there. But what I found interesting here is that we can look at this as an A, B, and C in here. So an A wave, a B wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for the C wave. And this is pulling back 50 or 60% compared to this run here. So all I wanted to point out here is that the utility sector has got this impulse wave up and then a nice deep correction here. So it's slightly different from the banks, but yeah, I mean, it's telling me that this can actually just continue to the upside here. So that sort of got me a little bit excited. I mean, the banking sector, the XXJ, and the finance sector is much the same. As I've mentioned here before, we've got 3 waves up here for this. Now, CommBank has got 5 waves because this move here on CommBank made new highs here. So we've got 5 waves in CommBank. If I can just bring CommBank across here for a second, we've got the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 here, and then it's pulled back to the 61.8%. So it can move up from that point. That's what we were looking at, you know. So, but the WBC and the others are very much like this. So there's a couple of things that we could look at here. We could look at this as wave 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 of the next degree higher, and then going into a strong third wave here. Or we could look at this here as the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave coming into play here, and then folding over from that point. So A and Z, I think we were talking about it like that. So let's just have a look at A and Z again. So with A and Z here, same sort of pattern, we could look at all of this as the A wave here, pulling back to roughly the 50-60%, and then looking for 5 waves up, coming to the old high over here, and then rolling over from that point. Or we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then just continuing all the way up here. But all I'm pointing out here is that we would need to be careful here. I mean, I had noted this before. This move down through here is playing out as a corrective pattern and not an impulse pattern. And now we're bouncing off a medium level here. So this medium level here is basically halfway between 20 and 13. So the Fibonacci numbers are 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, and so on. But yeah, but when we come to 20, we don't use 21. We can do, it plays out, but it's the first, I just call that, well, minor level 1, 2, and 3, and because it's 1 here, 1 is the strongest number, it normally pins in a top here, but so does the other guys here, so it's a bit, but psychologically, we're better off having 20 rather than 21 because the orders build up around that space. Anyway, that's where the 1650 comes from. It's halfway between 13 and 20, and 15 is halfway between 10 and 20, of course, for major levels. So that holds in nicely here. A bit of an unusual number, but you can see that it's worth noting and playing out here. So it's very possible here we get 5 waves up to $20 here for ANZ, and the same with CBA. So yeah, looking good for those guys. So just removing this now. So it was quite interesting, really, wasn't it? Because we know that the materials sector has got 5 waves up here, and we know that the utility sector has got 5 waves up here and has also pulled back, you know, 50-60%. So I've had this as a wave 4 here, but you know, maybe it is wave 1 here and so on, and wave 2 here. I just don't know. But all we can do is just take, well, from my perspective anyway, somebody else probably will know and be better than I am and all the rest of it. But in the meantime, you're stuck with me. And all I can sort of see with all of this is that, yes, we've got a long position in here. Yes, we don't know how far it can go, but we are just going to wait and see if the 6,000 becomes the support, because if it does, then it sets up a target at to the 500 up through here. Yes, there are levels up here. The 100, the 200, and the 300 are all really important levels here. Double tops are never really the end of a bullish market, so that also tells me that we'll be going higher. It's just like, well, when, and where do we get in and where do we put the stop and those sorts of things. So let's just go in and have a look at this here on the 4-hour chart to start with. I haven't got this labelled here, but we've worked through all of this here. I know that this can be counted as 5 waves down too, in terms of wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4, and then down for wave 5. So we really need to be careful about from this high here down to this low here. We need to be careful at 60.21 there. And that's good that it's at this 6,000, because we know that we're highly likely going to get some sort of stalling, consolidation, and so on here, but we want that consolidation really to consolidate on top of the 6,000 and not under it. We could have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the classic trading levels pattern. That's all doable, and we'll be keeping an eye out for that. But we're really just looking for and this move here as well, I don't know if I can count it as blue wave 1 here either. It might just be green wave 1, but look, it doesn't really matter at this point. And also this here too, this can also be placed over here for this. This can count as 5 waves down here, so I will put it there, and this does look like a B wave here. It's just that the C wave hasn't come down much from this point. I think it's also important to have a look at the cash market in all of this. So this move up through here, we can really see, as I've mentioned it before, we can see it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here. So we knew that this was 5 waves here. So I'll just go back to this. This is this one here, but I also counted 5 waves up in through here. So that wasn't the difficult part at that point. But what we can take away from here is we have this impulse wave here, then we've had our correction, which is 50-60% back, whatever, and then we're looking for our next move up here. So we decided to go long after that. So in this case we've got 5 waves up here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and then we've got some sort of correction pattern back here, and then we've got this 3rd wave here, then we've got this 4th wave here, and then this 5th wave moving up. So this 5th wave moving up could be the end of it. So it could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up to the end here. So that's at those numbers up here. So that will be up at the 6,000 area. So that will be up at the 6,000 area up here. So that could finish up there. So it's also possible that this, if I just copy the C wave here, this up here is an A and a B and a C wave finishing, at the 61.8% here. So this is what we need to be careful of. But also too, we need to we just need to see if we can get that classic trading levels pattern sitting on the level, which will look like this. If this is the 6,000 here, we're going to look for the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then some type of corrective pattern, and then sitting over here. Now we can get a variation of that, so we need to be mindful of that, which would be this one where it doesn't come back below the level. There's a good case for that as well in this instance, so we need to be mindful about that. We could also say that the banks are driving the situation. I'll just check on the dollar's still down low. Just checking, where is it? Crude's not doing much. Where's iron ore? Iron ore's, well, we'll look for iron ore to have a low in at 38.2. So it could push up from that point. From there, the iron ore. We'll see about that, but we obviously need a session to do that in that case. Just wanted to have a look at copper. Copper's flat at the moment, so yeah, it'll probably come from the banks. Yeah, so what we're going to do here is we're just going, so if you're long here, you really want to take profit at the 6,000. So let's just do that, shall we? Let's just put that there. I mean, these are just for day traders, really, you know, intraday traders, whatever. I mean, you should be holding on the Friday. I mean, a lot of people get out over the weekend, but it is good to hold if Friday closes strong, because then the likelihood of Monday following through is you know, 60 odd percent. But what we need to do now is we need to get up to here. There'll be some sort of reaction, be profit taking going on there. So you don't have to sell at 6,000. You can always sell at, you know, 988 or something, somewhere before that. Then we just need to look for a pattern like this, that's all. And that's going to help us. That's going to tell us if we're going to be going long again. That's all. And then if that's the case, then we'll have a nice run to the upside. You don't have to take it all off the table here, but certainly taking a chunk of it, because if it's going to fail, that's where it's going to fail from. But like I said, this little structure up here, let's just go to the, I don't think the 15-minute chart can tell us much here. No, let's go to the tick chart. You can see the setup here quite easily at the 5-9 here at this stage, can't you? As a classic trading levels pattern. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like beautiful. We've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the A, the B, and the C wave here, and then you go long just above here, because you keep bringing the low down, the you know, the buy on stop or whatever you do at that point. But that's nice, you know, it makes it easy. And that's what we'll be looking for at the 6,000, which will be up here. Sorry, our job was to count this up here, so we can just borrow some of these. I think that's all of the third wave there, really, and the fourth and the fifth. So if I got any, let me just get in a few more. Borrow these. A little bit big. Oops. 5 needs to go up there. Just want to check here for a moment. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Then we've got 1 here. Then we've got 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So all that's the same. So that would be 1 and 2, and the third wave is all here, and the fourth wave and the fifth wave. So I think we can comfortably put wave 2 over here. If it's green or blue, I'm not quite sure at this stage, but we'll just put that there. We might make adjustments on that. But here we've definitely got 1 and 2 in here, and well, I've got to pull that apart. Well, it's either here or here. Not that it matters that much, but here we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we've still got that to go, that to go, that to go, that. I mean, the importance of doing this detail here is that the market, based on the cash market here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here. Yes, it can be up for 1 and back for 2, up for 1 and back for 2, but we don't know that yet. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So, you know, one more push up to, you know, above or close to 6,000 would have that finish. So in this case, this here can be finished coming in at that point. So that's where the market can end there. So we could look at all of this as an AB. I mean, that could be wave C there. That could be finished there. That's all I'm saying at this point. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say, rather. So just coming back to the hourly chart here. Yeah, well, that makes all sense now, doesn't it? So this market can go just above here. You want to take profit, and then we wait for this. We wait for that pattern. That's all I can say at this point. And I think that's logical, practical, and sensible. And let's just see where we are from that point. And hopefully we can just continue to the upside. And it may be worthwhile looking at the banks. Let's just have a look at, just on the side here, just looking at let me have a look at CBA. Let's just check out CBA here for a second. The tick chart. Okay, so this is CBA. Let's just spend a little bit of time here, shall we? It's just because this will just get it right. So we can look at it at like this here as an ABC, and even you can see the 5 waves up here. You may not be able to figure it all out, but what you can see is you can see this strong move in the middle here. So you know that's the 3rd wave. So that's got to be the 4th wave in here. That's got to be the 5th wave in here. This has got to be wave 1 in here. So what we can do here is we can just we can also look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and wave 5 here. And this is important because if that's 5 waves up here, right, then we're going to get, copy that for a second, and that. So at the moment, this could be an ABC and just fail from here and just move straight down, right? Not a problem. And otherwise, we're going to see 5 waves up. So we'll see 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I can't draw on this side of the tick chart, but if we get this move up through here, which is likely, probably no need to chase it, we can get it on the pullback here for this. But once we've got those 5 waves here, that means that after a correction, we're going to get another 5 waves up here. It may not pull all the way back down to the medium level here, 65. It may, if this gap's open here, then what did the, just let me have a look at where the S&P closed up, 1.6. I'll just have a look at the banks. Okay, the banks are up a bit off their lows, not a lot, nothing to get excited about, pretty much the same as what we've got here. I'm just looking at US banks. So, yeah, look, let's just see if we get 5 waves. If we get 5 waves, then we can look to buy above wave B there in the case. So we get 5 waves up, and then an A and a B and a C wave. We can go long above here. That will be safe. We can put the stop below here, and we can see how far we go at that point. But that would take us, if we just go back to the daily chart here for a moment. So if that takes us up, I'm just thinking out loud here, that takes us up to about there, and then we come back to here, and then that will take us up to about there at that point, 70. So that will take us to 50–60% retracement level. It doesn't get us out of trouble, but it gets us along a little bit. So you can go this is where we want to go long here. If we just clear this back out here again, we want to see if we get one more little high in here. Let's just get rid of this monster, put it in over here. Okay, that's pretty clear now at this point. So that would be the long trade to the upside, if you're not long already. But we decided to wait, didn't we? We figured that we'd be bouncing back up through here, but now we just want to see if it sits on here. But now we've got a bit more information. We've got 1, 2, 3 here. We're just thinking if we can get 4 and 5. If we get that, then we can buy the pullback. In fact, you could buy it back at the 65 if you wanted to. And the idea, I mean, it's really nice if you can get like at least 3 little positions in amongst all of this here, if you've got the time. But if you haven't, then it doesn't matter that much. Alrighty, okay, well that's taking shape a little bit better now, so I feel a bit better about that. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in, cheers.